What's up, everybody? Welcome to the summer recap of Year 2 on Applegate Farm. What a season it was, am I right? Let me tell you about it. It was great. Anyway, let me just tell you about it throughout this video and start right from the beginning with Day 1. As per usual with the first day of a season, Day 1 of summer was no different. I made sure to go by Pierre's place. I actually had to go by there multiple times because I didn't have enough seeds for how big my farm actually was. The end of spring really threw me off with how big my farm actually was, but we got all the seeds planted right before the end of the day, so it was a very good start to the season. On Day 2 of summer, it was already our first stormy day of the season, so what better way to spend the day than by fishing all day? That's a lot of time saying day. Anyway, we completed Clint's quest by giving him a tuna, and for the rest of the day, we fished. Actually, I was on a quest to get 35 fish that day, and right at 1:50 a.m., I got my 35th total fish, passing out right as soon as I caught it. Whew, that was a close one. Day 3 was a very simple day, but it was a very good day nonetheless. So I started off by planting seeds on Ginger Island and crafting some preserves jars to also place on Ginger Island. Eventually I have a line of them going down and it'll look amazing. Then for the rest of the day, I just kind of fished for a little while since Demetrius wanted a largemouth bass, which I caught none of, by the way, but it's fine, it's whatever. We'll still have the next day to do it. On Day 4, I had the goal of continuing the keg shed progress and going straight to the mines pretty much for the entire day with the goal of collecting copper. Now I say pretty much the whole day because I also tried to do Demetrius's quest for largemouth bass. However, I wasn't able to do that because I just couldn't get any largemouth bass from the water, so I guess completing one of my 2 daily quests a day was fine, but it's still bad, but it feels good to get a lot of copper like that. On Day 5 of summer, I decided to not go to the mines today. It was instead a time to gamble for the first time. So we went to Calico's casino and had a blast. I deposited 10,000 G of my earnings into 1,000 Qui coins and walked out with 8,000 Qui coins, making an insane return for what I started with. Then afterwards, I went to Ginger Island to plant some starfruit and put the rest away for the eventual keg shed to start that off while I wait for the ancient fruit. And finally, for the rest of the evening, I fished. And it was a lot of fun. On Day 6, I begin my mining marathon, trying to collect as much copper as possible so I can complete my keg shed much quicker than I'm hoping for. So, we went into the mines, and as you might expect, I mined all day long and ended the day with 76 or so copper. So it was a really good first day for the mining marathon, and we're gonna continue strongly, hopefully, as we did today. On Day 7, our farm was blessed once again with green rain, so I dropped everything that I was gonna do today and just went ham on collecting wood, fiber, and moss, and let me tell you, today was very productive. I collected just over 1,700 wood, almost 300 moss, and I don't exactly remember how many fibers but I collected, but I'm sure it's a big number too. Very, very beautiful green rain day, super productive, and you just love to see it for future projects. On Day 8, we returned to the mines for the ultimate quest of getting all the copper necessary for the keg shed, and boy howdy, was it such a good day for copper. Given that I had perfect luck today, it should have been very obvious that we were going to have a great day, and man, I blew it out of the water. 130 plus copper in one mining day. I have never seen anything like that. That is incredible. A good way to cap off the mining marathon. On Day 9, it was finally time to complete a long-standing project, the keg shed. I didn't have enough copper at first, but I was quickly able to go into the mines and fix that problem. But then it was time. The keg shed was filled and it was beautiful. A long time project finally coming to fruition. Oh boy, am I excited to put some stuff in these kegs and get the wine empire started. On the morning of Day 10, Leah announced to me that she is pregnant. So that's pretty cool. We're having a baby soon. But that wasn't the focus of Day 10. The focus was to collect some more fish on Ginger Island. We also discovered the blue discus and the stingray at the end of the day. We also got to hang around with some pirates, and it was a really cool time. We threw a bunch of darts and showed all the pirates up. It was awesome. What a fun day. Day 11 of summer brought back the luau. And luckily for me, I started on Ginger Island today, so I wasn't locked out of it to collect my cauliflowers. But on my way back, I was left in the middle of Pelican Town instead of on the beach, so I was able to go back to my farm and grab an iridium quality egg to later add to the luau soup after talking to everybody, of course. You gotta stay social. And everybody liked the soup, so it was a rousing success. And before I went to bed, I prepared everything I needed for the Skull Caverns tomorrow. On day 12, it was long overdue, but it was time to go back to the Skull Caverns, and what a day it was. Could you imagine that with perfect luck, a lot of things can go your way? We found a second auto petter, a prismatic shard. Like, can things possibly get better? I don't think so. It was amazing. We made it down 60 levels and mined over 30 iridium. It was a beautiful day in the Skull Caverns. On day 13, the melons were complete. So we were able to get over 350 melons because of a big melon that was there, which is going to lead for a ton of profits. However, that was about at the end of all the good stuff that happened today. I was able to buy some blueberry seeds, but everything else from my plans went kaput. I wasn't able to upgrade the barn, and I wasn't able to buy auto collectors for my animals, so it was a really rough day, but in terms of money, it was awesome. And during the night, Leah gave birth to our first child. Meet Calvin. Unlike day 13, where almost nothing got done, on day 14, we got pretty much everything done. We went right away to Robin's place to upgrade our barn to its maximum capacity. Then we went to Marnie's place to grab some collectors for all of our farm animals as well. And we bought some new goats and ducks. So say hello to Jordan, Brady, Daffy, and Donald. And finally, we spent the rest of the day just collecting trees from all the trees in the forest, getting all their wood, and grabbing a couple mash trees that I totally forgot about. So it's a good day. On day 15, I decided to go back to the Skull Caverns in the quest of getting more iridium for the ultimate goal of getting the Crystallarium shed. But it didn't really go as planned. I didn't really find all the things I wanted to find. The to-do list was in just shambles. But I mean, we did go down 60 levels in the, in the Skull Caverns. So that's great, I guess. Could have been better, but it could have also been a lot worse. So take what we can get, I guess. On day 16 of summer, it was time for me to return to Ginger Island for one big purpose. The Gormand frog in the cave wanted to inspect my melon crops, so I allowed him to do that, and he almost took a big bite out of one of my crops, but he restrained, and he gave me 3 golden walnuts in return. Alongside of that, I also replanted all the melons and planted some wheat because that was the next thing he wanted to check out. And finally, right before I went to bed, we got a little visit by the witch, who cast a spell over our coop. Wonder what that's gonna be, but we'll have to check that out tomorrow, I guess. On day 17, I had completely forgot about the witch and going to the coop, and instead went straight to Ginger Island to complete some more fishing, because I figured someone had left a comment mentioning midnight carp. So I figured, well, let's see if that's real or not. And by golly, it was. We ended up catching 4 midnight carps by the end of the day, and even though I had 30 fish in mind, I still caught more than I thought in midnight carps, so I guess I'll take it as a win. On day 18, I had 2 to-do lists in mind, one with bad luck in mind and one with good luck in mind. But today was a good luck day, so we went to the Skull Caverns, and boy howdy, was it the correct option to choose. We had an amazing day in the Skull Caverns, reaching over level 100 in this caverns, and also getting almost 100 iridium. A beautiful day for a Skull Caverns day. On day 19, I had a challenge for myself. It's time to be social. And what I did today was talk to 20 people and give a whole bunch of gifts. I made sure I gave some loved gifts and some liked gifts. And Penny got in the way and she got some dirt. So she was gonna get an emerald, but I guess she'll have to settle for dirt, so oh well. Anyway, we did talk to a whole lot of people, and before we ended the day, we chopped down all the trees at the train station and got all the wood there. So it was a really good productive day nonetheless. Day 20 marked the first day of the Trout Festival, but I didn't go to that. Instead, I went to Ginger Island and did a whole lot of nothing, really. I talked to the Gormand frog to get some more golden walnuts because he really liked the crops that I was growing, and I tried fishing for some skeleton bones for the museum, but I wasn't able to get the specific snake vertebrae bones that I was looking for, so unfortunately, we didn't really do much there, but we did get over 10 golden walnuts. And to cap the day off, my blueberry wine was all finished, and that was the first official use of the keg shed. What a nice day to end it off on. On the 21st day of summer, it was the Trout Festival, except it was also yesterday, but we didn't do that. But today, we locked in and went to the fishes. We actually caught over 20 trout, got 7 golden tags, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a second mounted trout. But it was a lot of fun to do the trout hunting, and I think, obviously, we'll probably do it again next year, but this was a lot of fun. On day 22, it was all about Ginger Island. There were some things in the museum that I wanted to complete, and I kind of did. I found the frog bones, but I didn't find any snake vertebrae, so we got close there. But we also found 4 golden walnuts, totaling 101 collected. We were able to bring that to the purple door and enter the Quee room, where Mr. Quee told us all about the final tasks that we really have to do to show our true merit for the valley. It's going to be a long and fun couple days ahead of us, I'd say. On day 23, I initiated the first of many Quee quests. This one was to catch all of the legendary fish again. So my goal was simple. We're going to try to catch as many of them as we possibly can, and we did. We first caught Mrs. Angler, then we caught the radioactive carp, and finally, after a couple of attempts, we did catch the crimson fish sun. Now, I say finally, but we also caught a couple Legend 2s, and I plan to catch a few more tomorrow to hopefully make some ponds and make some more money with those roe. On day 24, I continued my fishing rampage of the legendary fish recaptures and caught 2 more Legend 2s, bringing my total to 4 for when I eventually craft 4 ponds and have a whole bunch of legends growing. But I also caught another glacier fish, or the second glacier fish in this whole series, but we caught him, so now that's the legendary fish recaptured, so we got 20 Quee gems out of that. And for the rest of the day, I did some other tasks like catching a void salmon, turning in a faraway gem into the wizard's house to get the Meow Mirror, which is super cool. And finally, I spent the rest of the day beating Junimo carts, and it was awesome. I did it all in one try. Can you believe that? I couldn't, but that was what we did today. On day 25, unlike day 24, I can now build a pond. So I did that at Robin's place, and it's going to be super nice to be able to put one of my Legend 2s in there. Eventually, we'll have 4 and 4 Legend 2s brewing in ponds. It's going to be glorious. I also was able to buy 2 pigs, meet Peppa and George, my 2 beautiful piggies. And that was pretty much it for the day, so not much else to say there. On the 26th day of summer, my true love gave to me an entire day's worth of Ginger Island quest hunting. So, the first thing I wanted to do was go to the mines and hopefully find some more secret notes hidden on Ginger Island. I only found 1 of the 2 that I was really looking for, but I'll take it over anything else. And we also got 15 cinder shards to add to the bank. So it was a really good day, and we found a phoenix ring. Not really sure what that does entirely, because I've never seen it before until today, but it's kind of cool, right? Anyway, that's day 26. On to day 27. On the penultimate day of summer, I went to the Skull Caverns, and it was awesome. Let me tell you, we got over 50 pieces of iridium ore. We also made it to level 71 just in the nick of time. And finally, we got a prismatic shard, which, I mean, you know, at this point in the game, there's not much to do with them, but I still think it's awesome to find one every now and again. And we also walked out with 8 diamonds, by the way. Super good day in the Skull Caverns, so we will absolutely mark it down as a W. On to the last day of summer. On the 28th day of summer, the final day of the season, I had a few loose ends that I wanted to tie up before going to the Moonlight Jellies, so we got right on it. I checked to make sure I couldn't start a Quee quest, which I'm going to assume I can start on the first day of fall, but there's only one way to find out, and that's by playing the first day of fall. So we'll find out tomorrow, I guess. But then I went to the mines to mine over 40 gold to complete another item on the to-do list. And of course, with that being said, it's time to enjoy the Moonlight Jellies. One of my favorite events in the game. There's just nothing like it. It's so, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so good. That's all I'll say it. It's just so good of an event. But anyway, that is it for this season's recap. Thank you everybody so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, comment, share it with friends, subscribe, do all of that fun stuff. But as for me, I will be back tomorrow with the first day of fall here on Stardew Valley. Bye!